that are available in today's time. And if we talk about opportunities in future, right? I mean, I think to me it's the right answer would be, I think I would be surprised, or rather want to be surprised. I don't think I can actually predict as to what kind of opportunities can come in future. There was a time when we used to think that if we are talking about artificial intelligence, right? There was a time we used to think that computers cannot play chess. Now that era has gone, right? Now we have reached an era where computers can actually participate in a competition like Jeopardy, where I mean they are doing natural language processing and they are actually answering questions like humans. Not only that, even in the field of vision, right? Now the technology has made it possible to just look at the video and it can actually do continuous tagging of what it is looking at. So for a person who cannot actually see, it can actually give sight to that person. And I don't think, I mean, I would have predicted this 10 years back. And so I don't think I'm in a position to predict what will happen 10 years down the line. And, but I'm sure 10 years down the line, we'll all be surprised that how the life has changed and how the life has changed for good. Thank you.
Thank you. To you, Anirudh.
Yeah. So can you hear me? I guess you can. So basically, what I feel as per the opportunity in machine learning goes, I think this is an immensely populated place already. Along with that, I think there is too big a plate for all of us to eat. You think of machine learning in any industry, whether it is pharma, it is retail, it is manufacturing. I, as a co-founder of a company called Sellable, we work for all these three verticals. In pharma, we help organizations like Pfizer, Otsuka, reduce their adverse events. So pharma in India and pharma in US is not even correlated by a percent, right? They're totally different stuff. In healthcare in US, if you are creating a drug, so imagine you're buying a drug at $100. There's a cancer drug, it's a life-saving drug that costs you $100. You know what the manufacturing cost of the drug? In fact, not just the manufacturing cost, rather the entire cost of the drug is less than 10 cents. So where is that rest of the money going? It's actually going into the research and development. And imagine if you can optimize that research and development by even 10% using machine learning. That's a huge gain. And drugs in Pfizer, they have a market of $10 billion. I mean, Lipitor had $10 billion market. So imagine the kind of potential machine learning provides you with pharmaceuticals. Even in manufacturing, we've been using IoT a lot. You all have geysers, you all have water heaters, you all have home appliances that can now connect to a Wi-Fi network. Now imagine if you are running your appliance on a low voltage or a high pressure or a high frequency, and there's a machine learning algorithm that could figure out that your system or your appliance is about to turn faulty. In that way, you can assign more field engineers in an area where you feel more number of appliances are going to turn faulty, or you can tell your customers you're running it on a wrong voltage, so better get it on the right one, otherwise your warranty is void. And thus you help both the organizations and the customer optimize to the sweetest spot. Now coming back to your second question, how do we leverage it in our company? I think ever since we started, I felt that getting machine learning into big organization is not easy. It's because they all believe, they don't have the full faith as of now that will it really work. But I think what we have been able to succeed, or I think there are so many organizations who are doing similar stuff, we are focusing on things which are anyways probabilistic. Now, for example, can I predict my customer churn? Anyways, we are doing it probabilistically, right? But I'm not making a financial transactions using machine learning, right? So I think the area that I feel is really is really active right now is the area where it's already probabilistic, and that's where machine learning goes and optimizes the entire solution.
Thank you. Very nice to listen from all of you. So, really taking from three of you, when you are talking about optimizing these processes through the machine learning, how much actually we are happy to, depend on the machines in terms of decision making versus how much we want to actually the human cognitive science, the human sense to actually drive it. Is it possible down the line that we can remove all the managers and the machines will actually take all the business decisions? What would be your take?
Okay. Difficult one. Okay. What's my take on, in terms of, let's take the first part. Does it help? Okay. And does it I would say yes, it does. And especially, let me talk about the domain that I come from, where, finance, we are actually dealing with money. And a lot of times, I'm not saying that machines won't make that error, but yeah, human error. Plus, and especially in terms of when you talk about trading on exchanges, the speed that's required. Okay, if we've not been, traditionally the company that I come from, 15 years. It's only last couple of years where we started exploring these areas. Before that, it has been, the traditional business. And what we see is, I could actually increase the speed of, the decisions that we have to make by probably 15 to 20x or more, by depending on these algos. Algos, again, you have to do, we've taken more than, probably 6 to 9 months in just sort of doing the POCs and, getting training them, and okay, this is what serves us. We're still not live with, we're still live with only, I would say, about 8 to 10% of our high trading frequency customers. It does help. It increases efficiency a lot. Okay, you would have a lot of precision, accuracy, which is sort of difficult. That level at that sort of level of trading, it's difficult with humans. Okay, and you would be able to achieve that. Now, so does that mean okay, now depending on machines, and I'm going to throw out the managers, and we're not going to be needing them? No, that's not the thing. We should be focusing on. We don't. We are, because of these algos, which they are able to do certain things. We are sort of free now more to concentrate on our customers, on our core activities, and the growth of the company. Won't believe the growth that we've seen in last 2 years in terms of our top line and bottom line, both, is phenomenal. In that, I would say it goes to, depending on machines for your certain work and you delegating it to it. Till the time you could control them. Okay, if it's a controlled, something where a human can control, I would say yes, definitely. In terms of, people say even in the Western world, you would see, if you see that, okay, the organizations have gone up and the average kind of revenue, average salaries have been going down. But that's not, and the social fabric would probably get destroyed, if you sort of just go depend on the machines or something like that. It's more of a transition. And people get adapted to it, okay? They change. Someone who is not really wanting to change, then it's difficult. But yeah, if people get adapted, they're willing to change, ready to accept the change, till the time it's making our life easy, making it better, having a better communication, why not?
So whether analytics is helpful, definitely yes. In fact, most of the places that I have worked in, right, or most of the areas that I have worked in, like search, advertising, even in the finance domain, and where I'm currently working now. Let's think about credit card transaction fraud, right? Now, I want to take a decision whether this transaction is fraudulent or not, right at the time when the card is being swiped, right? I cannot definitely have a human taking that decision. And so these are some things that machines enable. And so there are a set of things or set of capabilities that that we can possibly do only with the help of machines. And of course, there are areas which, I mean, analytics is more like a helping factor. To answer the next question as to will machines replace managers in futures? Well, maybe yes, maybe no. I mean, the power of their cognitive capability has always increased, right? And it has been always surprising in the way it has become more and more accurate and more human-like. But one of the things that machines lack is they don't really have emotions, and that's one area. And I'm, yeah. Whether we will be able to crack that or not, I'm not sure. If they start having emotions, then maybe not even managers, right? I mean, I think they'll replace the workers too. Yeah.
Perfect. To you, Anirudh.
Just to add to what Amit said, Amit Agarwal from Bijli said, there are two Amits. There was an example quoted today by Accenture MD that was regarding Teradata, right? I remember I was in LA and was talking to a client who was using Teradata, and they're spending close to $8 million a year. And their data was supposed to explode by 7 times in the next 3 years. So they wanted to ensure that they don't end up spending $100 million. So what should they do? So we told them, okay, go for Hadoop and some other big data platforms. And we thought, oh, okay, it's now going to be an end for Teradata. Next year, I saw Teradata in Gartner as the biggest vendor of Hadoop, right? So they adapted to it, right? Now what they were doing was they were not selling a ML service or a AI service. Rather, they were selling very specific set of technology built on top of Hadoop to cater to a specific area for that particular vertical. So what I believe is, I think it would change. It would really take the manager's work and not the manager. Right, it would be able to do your daily task, probably send an email to someone, see if there are emails that are important to you, summarize what you need to see today. All that stuff can be done, but that would allow you to do your more important task even more precisely. And that's where the value is. And that's where I think most of there are so many salespeople who I talk to, and they have a lot of problems managing their stuff, and they want something more intelligent and not just rule-based stuff to manage whatever they're doing every day. So I think the answer to the question, yes, there's a definite danger to the human species that the AI would probably take it over. But I think it's not going to take over. It's going to help you evolve to next stage.
Perfect. Another very zazzy example that come to my mind, and being from Flipkart. So Flipkart started the photo search. So today, when you go to Flipkart, you can just write that I want a blue T-shirt. But imagine you are on a shopping mall and you have seen a beautiful dress and you want to buy that. It's really costly. You just want to check that is it possible that Flipkart also has the similar dress, and actually, or the Myntra has a similar dress, and it's actually cheaper, or probably having a better discount, going on that. So you can actually click the snap on the spot, load it on Flipkart or Myntra, and it will do a search for that photo and show that these are the closest possible dresses that goes with this. Do you want any of them? So that's actually an amount of the machine learning or the intelligence that we are probably envisioning for the future. That's actually going to add to the customer delight, right? And I believe probably human cannot really do that. I mean, a human brain, just doing it, it will be really require n number of millions of people to do it. Machine just does it in a few seconds. So yes, so that's a huge efficiency gain. That's huge addition to the customer delight. So why not adapting that? Now, literally coming to a couple of other points. So when you are thinking of embracing the machine intelligence, robotics, artificial intelligence, how do you want to go about it? Do you want to go ahead with the big innovation hubs like Microsoft, IBM, Accenture, all those companies? Or do you actually want to hire some in-house team who actually want to should actually create those design those algorithms, and then you have your own IP on that? Or is it like you would actually prefer to have handhold with the innovation labs, like those like research labs in the universities, who can actually join hand and do these things with you? How would you love to take it forward, or which one you prefer particularly in this regard?
Okay. Okay. So could I say, like, your question is more, would you sort of prefer third-party vendors? Kind of go to external sources, or pretty debatable stuff, And well, my take on this would be, I would prefer to go with external vendors. And business cycle, if we sort of look at the business cycle, it's kind of changed, and we don't have those long life cycles. You today need speed to market. You want to go live fast. Something like machine learning, today finding expertise and building the whole solution around that, it's going to be difficult. And especially, I'm talking about my domain. It's going to be, because this thing can change domain to domain. We would not want to do that. We would prefer a third party, because it's going to, sort of give us a lot of support, hand holding in terms